Rovers line up with Terry Jeno restored to full health in goal. Mark Atkins at right back following his outstanding game in his emergency central defensive role at Oxford last week. Chris Sully, his partner, at full back. Nicky Reid reverts to a midfield role at number 4, making his debut at number 5. Former Manchester United centre half and Republic of Ireland international Kevin Moran, signed this week from Sporting Gijón from Spain. David Bale at 6, another player restored to the first team. Andy Kennedy 7, John Millar in midfield at 8. Frank Stapleton and Simon Garner. Frank Stapleton and Simon Garner injured today, so Stapleton lines up with Howard Gale beside him at number 10. Possibly a more forward role for Frank Stapleton today. And back in the side at 11, Scott Sellers. Rovers substitutes today are Tony Finnegan and Lenny John Rose. Stoke City line-up: Fox, Butler, Sanford, Saunders, Holmes and Fowler. Ware, Carl Beeston, Tony Ellis, signed recently from Preston North End. Wayne Biggins, former Burnley player, and Lee Sanford at 11. Number 3 is Derek Statham, in fact the former West Bromwich Albion and former England international player. Rovers drew 1-1 last week at the Manor Ground at Oxford, a creditable draw. Oxford currently one of the form teams in the division, but Rovers held the lead through Mark Atkins, goal from a set piece from a corner. And a bit of a false start there. Rovers have to take the kick off again, and away we go. Mark Atkins back to his more familiar full-back duties, and a first touch for the new signing Kevin Moran. David Mayle looks for Andy Kennedy, and Andy Kennedy's on to that one. And snaps at the chance, probably not quite warmed up. And shoots wide. That was an opening for Rovers in the very first minute there. Holds it up for Chris Sully. John Millar heads forward. And Howard Gale looks to get round the back here. Finds Scott Sellers inside. And a penalty. Less than 2 minutes gone and Rovers have a penalty. Scott Sellers turfed down in the penalty area. And it looks like Mark Atkins will have the responsibility. Well, Rovers have had so many tales of woe to tell following recent penalties, missed penalties against Bradford, against Aston Villa and against Leeds. Mark Atkins here has a chance to claim the job. Some advice from Scott Sellers. And another one goes begging. Well, this is really becoming embarrassing for Rovers. Where? Sellers gets a foot on that. Feeds one out to John Miller wide on the left. It's a useful cross. Kennedy, it's a goal! Well, no shortage of incidents in the first 5 minutes. Rovers accept the third chance. Andy Kennedy puts Rovers into the lead. John Millar's cross was a good one, and Andy Kennedy controlled it well and beat Peter Fox from close range. Sellers gets a foot on that. Feeds one out to John Miller wide on the left. It's a useful cross. Kennedy, it's a goal! Well, no shortage of incidents in the first 5 minutes. And certainly Blackburn Rovers are the team to watch for the neutral spectator. There seems to be no shortage of incidents at Ewood Park these days. Kevin Moran runs that one out. Stoke throw. A bit of excitement in the Dorman end from the Stoke spectators. There's Sanford. Yet again breaks down on the edge of the box. Stapleton looks for a man making a run. Finds Andy Kennedy doing just that. Slips it inside to Gale. Well, Well, the sequence continues. Who's going to take this one? Penalty once more. Well, surely Rovers can put one away at last. Howard Gale, the man who took penalties so successfully last season up to the playoff games. And that's the way to do it. Consistency now to Rovers penalty taking. Probably won't get one for the rest of the season now. Stapleton. Reid out to Kennedy. Atkins. Build up by Rovers on the edge now. Once more looking for Gale, but the ball hits a bit too. Into injury time in the first half. Referee decides that's enough. Rovers come off at half time. 2-0 in the lead. Andy Kennedy scored following good work from Sellers. And Howard Gale resumes his penalty taking duties and notched the second one. Rovers 2, Stoke City 0. Second half, away we go. Rovers 2-0 in the lead. And really much of the talk at half-time among the spectators is that if Rovers just managed to slip into gear today, this is a game that they could be in for a hatful in. But it's early days for that sort of talk yet. Really is a weary half of football, but in some ways it's a delight to Rovers fans because at least haven't looked like doing anything silly, giving away any daft goals. Gale. Kennedy inside to Reid. Atkins returns it to Reid. Out to Stapleton. Atkins picks that one up. And good work from Mark Atkins, great skill there. Wide and low. And in from Scott Sellers. 3-0. Looked like the chance was going to fall invitingly for Howard Gale, but he just got on top of it somehow, but dug it out for Scott Sellers. Sellers in double figures in the league now. Rovers surely now about to win this game comfortably. Free kick, a throw-in rather. Stayed behind when the squad went to Spain, I understand, this week, Nicky Reid, for an exam. A course in biology at Blackburn College. Somebody rather unkindly suggested to me it's possibly so he would know what to do in treating victims of his tackles. I won't disclose who said that. Rovers win a throw. Sneak another one at the death, make it a good even healthier 4-0 scoreline. 3-0 will do quite adequately, thank you, but one more would be the icing on the cake. Male centre, Kennedy. Gets it out to Sellers. Sully in, but it's too late. Scoreboard shows Rovers have beaten Stoke City 3-0, an emphatic victory. 9,132 spectators. Goals from Kennedy, Gale from the penalty spot, and Scott Sellers. Kevin Moran will have enjoyed his debut at Ewood Park. And the game finishes Blackburn Rovers 3, Stoke City 0.